Check. What is going on? It's your auntie's favorite from across the way. Your boy Jones the Great, aka auntie's favorite, aka McNasty. I'm just playing. I'm not nasty, but we are back for the episode. I believe this is like episode 7. I want to say 7. I don't know, but yeah, bro, we've come this far, man. I'm glad that you guys are actually tuning in. I think I got like 30 listeners tuned in every week, so I'm good with 30. I'm good with 1. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can break through some form of noise and have this as a creative outlet. But anyway, let's get right into it, man. I have a lot I want to talk about, but I definitely want to talk about relationships. Relationships is one of the things I want to talk about. And I'll branch off into something else if I have time. But one thing, you know what I'm saying, I realized how important relationships are and how important some are. Like I said that as in terms of like we tend to keep people around. We're all a little not guilty of it, but we tend to keep people around that mean it's no good. And a lot of times that can mean family members. And that's been on my spirit, that's been on my heart lately to just talk about that and just speak on like why it's okay to let people go that are no good for you. We were just talking about I was talking about that with my family and a mukbang. We're doing a mukbang for my mom's channel. But I was wanted to just dissect why it's important to let people that are no good for you go. And I think the first reason why you should let people that are no good for you go is because that they just mean you no good in general. So with that being said, it's almost like let's go to homies. Let's say you're a homie, that's your boy, you know what I'm saying? And let's just say you want to start a business. You know, simple story. Let's just say you want to start a business, right? You want to start the business and then, yo guys, I'm trying to start a business. Every homie supports it, but that one homie's like, I don't know if you should do it, man. It doesn't seem like a good fit for you. I feel like you should stick to college. I feel like you should just stick to staying at your 9 to 5. I feel like that's no good for you. And the reason that the homie's not telling you that, he's not telling you that because he cares about you. He's telling you that because he's hating and he's actually probably intimidated, or he or she, you know what I'm saying? They're probably intimidated that you're going for the gusto and that they're probably too scared to follow their dreams, so they try to stomp yours right then and there. So if you have a homie in your life that's like that is non-supportive of what you do, let them go. They mean you no good at all. And sometimes too, it's a bit weird to dissect, but sometimes too, when somebody's dreams of themselves suck or their own life is horrible for whatever reason it's horrible for, they will definitely try to keep you down. And I've noticed that sometimes they're not trying to keep you down because it's anything towards you. Sometimes they've been let down so many times, so naturally the energy that they give off is naturally going to be negative energy because their whole life, you can't do this, I'm going to keep banging this person down. They deal with it at school, they deal with it at church, they deal with it everywhere. So naturally they're just going to keep knocking you down. And I've learned that through people, especially growing up in church or just being an artist. I'm a trained dancer. I was trained for like 8 years. And I was going to dance school, but that's a different story anyway. So I said that to say, like, sometimes people, their negative view of you is not a negative view of you. Sometimes a lot of people see in you what they can be or want to be. And even though you don't have the money yet, you're not where you want to be yet, your positivity can illuminate and it can cause to drive people crazy, but the wrong people crazy. I've learned that if you have the right people in your life, all right, so I feel like when you have a light about you, you want to protect that light, but you want the right people to come that also have light, so you're just creating this gigantic asteroid explosion. You're just like, yo, look at all this positivity around me. And I feel like sometimes as people, we tend to keep people around that we love and care about, but they mean it's no good. And that is such a hinging and something that can literally drag you down. I would rather be in the corner and have a party by myself than to deal with negative people, bro, because that is so played out. Same thing with being in a relationship with somebody. Like, I could love you. You could be the greatest girl I've ever seen in my life. You could be beautiful. You could be Rihanna. You could be bad. But if you are negative and your spirit is trash, and no matter how fine you are, bro, I'm telling you, you could be 11. You could be the finest I've ever seen. But if your attitude is horrible and you don't reflect the things that I want to do in my life and you're constantly knocking me and you're just super, super toxic, I don't want to be with you. And I feel like sometimes when that comes to dating too, we tend to see potential in somebody, or we tend to just keep going with somebody, but that somebody, that's not, it's not my season for you. So I may be like, yo, I love this girl, bro. I'm gonna keep holding on to her and keep sticking out with her. She's no good for me, and everybody's telling me she's no good. And I may have missed my blessing or missed my season because I decided to hold on to that. Where God could have something greater for me on the other side of that. I could have had greater blessings, but I held on to something that was toxic. And as I get older, I always just want to build more discernment. I think discernment is a very, very important characteristic as a human being to have. I think that discernment, anybody that doesn't know what discernment is, it's basically God telling you, or yeah, it's basically God telling you that, yo, it's like the feeling you get when something is not right and you know it's not right. And like, this person is gonna do me harm. This person is no good for me. Let me stay away from this person. That's what discernment is. Discernment is when you decide that, oh, hold on, this is a red flag. Let me stay away from this because I can't be near this. That's what discernment is. So I feel like I'll run it back a little bit. When it comes to like dating, even dating, bro. Like somebody could be fine, woman too. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have the most good looking dude in the world, bro. But if he is a bum, he has no ambition, no job, none of that. I feel like yes, you may love this human being and have so much love for them, but it's the best feeling in the world to let them go if that's the case. Because I feel like loyalty is cool. You could be as loyal as you want to somebody. You can be super, super loyal to them, as loyal as you want to be. Loyalty is dope. I repeat that. So loyalty is really, really dope, and love is really dope too. But at the end of the day, if that person means you no good, let them go. Because I learned that love is cool, but you could still kill me. You could be loyal to me, but you could still kill me. I feel like comprehension is probably the most important thing you need to have a healthy relationship. Rather that be your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, spouse, blah blah blah. If you don't comprehend what I'm saying or care about me enough, and you don't comprehend the words that I'm putting into you, you don't comprehend the energy that I'm giving towards you, then you're not the person for me. And I feel like that's what's missing from a lot of relationships in the beginning. And not just, like I said, it's not just you dating somebody, and it's not just me talking about like me dating the finest girl in the room. I'm saying that if somebody doesn't comprehend the energy I'm giving them, and they don't comprehend how much I care about them, that I'm willing to help them and push them forward, then that's probably not the person for me. So I think that you can say like, yeah, love is important when it comes to anybody. Giving love is important when it comes to somebody. Like you doing something for somebody. It's just like a bad kid, bro. Like if a kid is horrible and he's being really bad, you could tell him 1,000 times, stop doing that. It's not good for you. Stop doing that. Get your hand off the stove. Stop doing that. Da, 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 da. But if he doesn't comprehend what you're telling him, he's not going to. He's like, I hear you, but I don't comprehend. And comprehending means me taking it, dissecting it, and doing something about it. So back to my other thing. If you genuinely love somebody and want them to do better, but they're still out here wilding and they're still toxic to you and affecting the things in your life, affecting your mood, affecting your bread, affecting the bag, affecting everything that's going on with you, then they're not comprehending what you're saying. And now you guys can put that in any relationship you want to. And I say that to say that maybe, and this is just my opinion, maybe if you put your best foot forward with comprehending first. Like I feel like comprehension is super important before anything else. That's the word of the day. Comprehension is gonna be my word of the day. I feel like you have to have that to be a better human being, and comprehension also goes with empathy. Empathy is really important because you have to have empathy to understand people. And the only reason somebody may be toxic, you may understand them, but again, I say the best thing to do when somebody means you no good is to let them go, bro. And it's very hard. It's easier said than done. But if somebody is affecting your life negatively, even if it's your family member and you feel like they're affecting you negatively, you have to let it go. And that's the best way for you to live the life that you want to live. So I'm gonna leave you guys on that. I promise you that we're gonna have more interviews on here. We're gonna be doing more dope stuff on here. This podcast is about to get crazy. I'm about to have special guests. I'm gonna see you guys later. Make sure you guys, if you're watching this, make sure you go Generation Genius podcast. Type it in, Generation Genius podcast. Julius Jones. I should pop up. Make sure if you're listening to it, you go look up it on YouTube, watch the visual. You know what I'm saying? See me in my do rag and silky. I will see you guys later. Gang, gang.